Boo. Happy New Year. My channel is going into 2025 with 300 pieces of content that's free content for you to learn from, to enjoy, to share, and it's all there for you in my videos and short reels. And if you would like one-on-one coaching with me, if that's something you've been thinking about or would like to do in the new year, the link for that is in the description box. So one of the things that really slow people down, that make many of you feel like a little bit or more than a little of the old year of 2024 is still coming along for the ride with you, is in relationships. And this is not just the SP relationship. This is to do with your relationship with, it could be a relationship with money. It could be your relationship with coworkers, with your superior at your job. It could be relationship with people you go to school with. It can be relationships with close friends. And these relationships all have their ups and their downs. They put us through sometimes a lot of emotional upheaval. And what sometimes we forget is that anything that comes out of a relationship of any kind, whether it's with finances and abundance, whether it's with an interpersonal relationship, always comes from within you. And a lot of times we tend to look at the circumstances that we have manifested and feel like the dynamic of the whole relationship with whatever it is collapsing around your ankles. It's just not working the way it once did. That your enthusiasm for what you were doing has radically dropped, that you're in a kind of meh position. And this can be whether you are in a career track somewhere, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a whatever you're doing, whether you're work from home, whether you're looking for work. Any of that is subject to drying up emotionally for you. And whatever the relationship is, whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or anything else, when they no longer feel healthy, energized, or beneficial to you, whether when they start draining your enthusiasm and your energy and leave you depleted, so that you are feeling meh about new possibilities, and yet here you are hanging on, being loyal to that person or that group or that job or that boss or whoever it is, out of fear that you cannot find or evolve something better, that it cannot change into something better. And that means you are forgetting who you are, that your nature is the I am, that your divine self is here, it is now, it is you, it is within you. And it is that the potential for any new state that you choose is always available to you. And we sometimes hang on with these old connections because they appear to appreciate what we do for them. And in fact, it's actually using you. It's using your energy. It's using your brain capacity. It's picking your brain all the time, but it's not feeding you back anything. That feeling of it being reciprocal in some way is not there. You might find that the situation has turned into one where the coworker or the manager or the or the partner, there's a narcissistic element that's coming in and it's burning you out. But there's an attachment to it that makes it difficult to move on. And you're saying, well, it's the beginning of the year. I want to make these changes. I want to, find new relationships. I want to go out and do new things. But yet that pull is still there. And I know firsthand how that can be. And I know that it can super suck. We see the new year blossoming. And in a community post, I was saying it's not to do with the fact that it's a new year that's here, because it's always now. And that why I did a community post on why resolutions don't work, why we have Quitters Day. It's that because it's known how easy it is for people to give up their New Year's resolutions. They just drop them, or they forget about them, or they just dissolve. And this is part of it. It's really wanting to resolve. It's wanting to make this resolution that you're going to make all these changes, but then they don't happen, and then you look around you and you say, well, I'm still caught in this. I see this person all the time, but when I leave them, I feel drained. I'm giving everything I have to it, and at the end of the day, or at the end of the work week, I have nothing left for myself. I have nothing left to give my loved ones, my kids, my family, my partners. Nothing there. And yes, this can super, super suck. I totally hear you. And you also have to realize, and listen closely and replay this as many times as you need here, that the relationship with that bestie or SP or whoever was manifested at the time it happened as a reflection of you and how you were at that time in relation to how you were treating yourself, and what you felt was the best kind of relationship to have. And yes, you may have bonded over things you had in common, but a lot of times those things get outgrown and someone feels they have to stick around in support of a relationship that really is no longer alive. It's lost its vitality. And yes, you want to say, no, I'm with you no matter what. I'm a true friend. I'm here for you regardless. I'm not a fair weather friend, as it was called, that's only there with you when times are good or when you have money in your pocket or whatever. No, it's that you support that person. I agree with that. That's fine. That means you're being an authentic friend. But there are other types of friendships where that kind of where it becomes a draining situation. And if that's been you, right, drained, in the comments, let me know. And what's happened is that you have been holding yourself in bondage to it. You have been enslaved to a version of yourself that believes it is separate from God, and has, in a sense, made that less than ideal relationship into a secondary cause, that you're making that into kind of what's sometimes called a false idol or a false Jesus, because the true relationship is within you. I've called that the me-relationship, and I have done a video about that. And this is where you believe yourself separate from God. Now here's the tough part. You gotta remember, and this is so important, and I imagine you always remembering this. This is what I'm imagining for you, is that you will always remember that whatever has arisen in the relationship, has arisen in whatever is coming up, is something that you manifested, because you're all there is. You are all that is. So it is within you that everything appears externally. It's all a reflection of everything you have thought or desired. And Neville Goddard said, if you will accept this as your philosophy of life and not turn to the left or the right, but claim you are solely responsible for the phenomena of your life, you will find it much easier to live. And that's pretty amazing because it sounds counterintuitive. Oh, I'm going to take, responsibility. Yes, because you can choose differently. You can imagine differently. If something doesn't arise in your experience the way you want it, you get to reimagine it. Whether you call it revision, or as Neville Goddard did, or whether you call it re-choosing what your highest excitement is, like Bashar talks about it. But whichever way you want to look at it, whichever way you see it, it's recognizing this came from me. I manifested this. And if this isn't serving the situation, if it isn't serving me, I choose again. I re-examine it, I redefine it, and move on. Bashar also has often said, if at first you don't succeed, redefine success, what that is for you. And that is a really cool way of seeing it, because you do get to decide differently. And it's okay to decide differently. You don't need anyone's approval for that. It's stepping up, it's stepping forth, it's stepping out. And you get to do that. You don't need to be stuck in something that has lost its vitality and that is draining you all the time, so that you have no enthusiasm for anything. You get to change that up. Because Neville always has said, whatever arises, whatever befalls you, and that can be the good things too, but a lot of times we talk about that as the problems, as the things we don't want, but they were all manifested by you, because everything is connected to what you had imagined, where you put your energy, the state that you chose from. So you can say it's a version of you that is not reflecting what you truly are, it's not reflecting what is coming from the biggest, boldest, baddest, assest you that you always have wanted to bring forth. And instead of, once you've come to terms with that in yourself, and it's okay to sit quietly with that, or spend a few minutes in meditation and just listen to your breathing and let the breath sweep the mind to the heart, and gaze into your heart space and be aware of what your heart wants to tell you. Be aware of what consciousness wants to tell you. This is all coming together for you, and you can get quiet, be still, and know I am God. And this is listening to your inner divinity, so that what you want can shift. You can bring you the reality that you really do want. And when you do that, what's super important is not to beat yourself up when things do not go the way that you planned, did not go the way that you expected, that were disappointing or draining or any of that. And just see that version of you that you no longer are affiliated with, that you no longer connect to, and see that with love, and see that with forgiveness. See that person that's no longer you, him or her, and see him or her with love and forgiveness and compassion. It's okay to do that, rather than just, you truly can say, I'm not that person anymore, because yes, your reality has changed 180. It's really not you, but at the same time, the one who you now are can still see who you once were from a loving place, a forgiving place. And that's really the most important, because if you're beating yourself up, or look down on that, it really makes it harder in a way to enjoy the person you are now, that you have become. It's celebrating who you have become. And that is a very big part of feeling successful in everything. and feeling that that success is always there for you. And you would let that old version of yourself go off lovingly, like you would with someone who is moving away. And that's very important. Someone I've been coaching for some time is moving away, and they have changed so much in so many ways. They're not the person they were at the time, and they're celebrating that in themselves, and that's how you can feel, just celebrating who you have become, and that it's even supported by who you once were, that person who you once were is actually happy for the version of you that you now are, and who you yet are going to become, that's even beyond what you can imagine right now. That you keep imagining bigger and bigger and bigger till you're at that point where you know that you are one with God. And it's, if you think about it, play with this here, we're all like an app. We're all like apps on the home screen, and the home screen is now, is the now. And behind that is the operating system that is pure consciousness. And this happy and fulfilled you that you have wanted for so long, this is this update, this upgrade, like an iOS update. But yours is the IAM, the I am update. The IAM update. And the I am is that. I am that I am. And that is the divine in you. That you are not ever separate from. Thank you so much for watching, for sharing, commenting, and liking this video. Happy New Year, Boo. Love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.